Hi besties, welcome back. Today we have the July monthly reading wrap up, and I am so proud of myself this month because I read 14 books, and for me that is a lot of books. So I have 2 books on my Kindle, and then all of the other books are physical. I'm going to be talking about them a little bit today, my rating for them, and yeah, and if I recommend it or not. Let's go ahead and get started. So I'm not gonna show these like in the order that I read them because I really don't remember the order. So this month I read Throttled, and this is the first book from the Dirty Air series from Lauren Asher, and I get a lot of questions if this is an easy book to read if English is your second language, and it is, but the book does have like quite a few like sports terms. If you don't know, this is a Formula One sports romance, and I gave this book a 4.5 out of 5 stars just because it has like a slow start. For like the first 150 pages, it gets a little bit repetitive. It is a romance, very slow burn, so that is what I mean by 4.5 because I was a little bit annoyed, but it's okay. I loved it, and I'm going to read the second one, and I'm so excited. And next one is from Colleen Hoover. I read Confess, and I am so happy that I read this book. I was a little bit skeptical about this book because I don't see it like literally anywhere, and it is such an underrated book from her. And this book is about Auburn and Owen and their love story. It reminded me a lot of It Ends With Us from Colleen Hoover, so if you like that book, you will love this book. I give this book a 6 out of 5 stars, yes, because this is my second favorite book of all time. I loved it so much. I cried, I smiled, I laughed. It was so good. And if you were wondering, my favorite book is Ugly Love. So this is my second favorite, and I cannot recommend this enough. This is so good. Please go read it. Next book is Maybe Someday by the same author, Colleen Hoover. This is another book that is very underrated. I don't see people like talking about this book a lot, like on TikTok, and it's honestly such a different book, and it's so cute. This book is about Sydney and Ritchie, and I loved it so much. You're gonna find out why it's named Maybe Someday, and it's so good. I gave this book a 4.5 out of 5. Next book I read was People We Meet on Vacation. This is such a hyped and talked about book. This is from Emily Henry, and I gave this book a 4.5 out of 5. This one also had a slow start for me, and I was kind of confused at the beginning. I got confused with the names and the dates and the things, but then I got it, and it is such a good book. So this is about Alex and Poppy. I am so excited because I have Beach Read, and I haven't read Beach Read, and I want to read it. Beach Read is another book from the same author, and if I love this book, I will love Beach Read, and I'm so excited to read it. I recommend this so much. Go read this book. It's so like summer vibes. Okay, another book from Colleen Hoover, Regretting You. So I read this book, and this is another book that is not talked about enough. So this book is talked about from a mother's perspective and then the daughter's perspective. So for the mother's perspective, there is romance, and for the daughter's perspective, there is also romance, a lot of family drama, and trauma. It's really good, so adorable. At the end, I cried because it was literally so cute, so adorable. I loved it. 5 out of 5 stars. So underrated. Please go read this book. Okay, now one of my recent reads. I read Birthday Girl by Penelope Douglas. I won this book in a giveaway, in a TikTok giveaway, and I was so excited. And you guys, this book was an automatic 5 out of 5 stars. If you know Penelope Douglas, you know this book has a lot of smut in it, but it's so good. This is a slow burn. This has the age gap trope. Honestly, I didn't even pay attention that much to the age gap thing. You should totally read this. So good, and the ending, I loved it. Okay, the last book that I read from Colleen Hoover this month was Verity. This book, I don't have words for this book. Obviously, this is a 5 out of 5 stars, but it's insane. This book is insane. It's mind-blowing. I read this book, and while I was reading it, kind of like sensed what was gonna happen until I didn't. I was like completely wrong. I read this book in a day. I was so hooked. It was so good. Oh my gosh. I have talked about this book with so many people because the ending just blows everybody's minds. You need to read this book. End of story. Okay, next book is the first book of another series. So this book is Addicted to You. So this is the first book from the Addicted / Calloway Sisters series. So this book I really liked. It was a 4 out of 5 stars. It was not my favorite, but it is definitely a different book. It has such important topics, honestly, and the story is so good. If you don't know, this book is about addictions, but basically the guy in this book is an alcoholic, and then the girl, Lily, is a sex addict. But I really liked it. 4 out of 5. I do recommend this, and I'm so excited to read the second book. So I read the third book from the Off-Campus series by Elle Kennedy. This is the book. This is named The Score, and this one is about Dean and then Allie. This is definitely a spicy book. I wouldn't say it's Penelope Douglas level spice. I literally don't have any complaints for this book. This was a 5 out of 5 stars. I think this is my second favorite book from the series because I really loved The Deal, which is the first book, but I'm not sure. So yeah. Okay, now I have my hardcovers, and I read 2 books from Taylor Jenkins Reid. First, Malibu Rising. So I got this book from the Book of the Month subscription, and this is very like California summer vibes, a lot of family drama, which I love the main character, Nina, which badass. The only thing that I don't like about this book, not because of the book, because of preference, is that this book is told like a narrative, like a third person, which I don't like because I kind of get confused with what they're saying and which character is saying what, and just like the format. This book was amazing. I gave this book a 4 out of 5. It was not like my favorite book of all time. Recommended, yes. The other book that I read from Taylor Jenkins Reid is The 7 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo. So this one is also from the Book of the Month subscription, and I need to say this. This book is a masterpiece. I really loved it. 5 out of 5 stars. It is about Evelyn Hugo, and basically she is telling her story with her 7 husbands, and the book is divided by her 7 husbands. I think like the most important question that revolves around this book is, who did Evelyn Hugo love? So because it is about her 7 husbands, but you don't actually know the full story until you read the book. Okay, next book I read was The Soulmate Equation by Christina Lauren. So before reading this book, I had never read anything from Christina Lauren, and I honestly really liked this book. Just again, like the narrative style, but it was very easy to read, so that is a plus for me. It is a slow burn. So this book is about Jessica Davis and River. So River is a doctor, and he has a startup company that pairs people up by their genetics. So it's really interesting love story between Jessica and River. So the characters are like in their 30s, but it's such a great book. It was so sweet. Like, it was so sweet, so cute. I loved it. I gave this a 4 out of 5. So the next book that I read in July was The Cabin. I'm gonna put the cover right here. The Cabin by Jasinda Wilder. So this book was a total heartbreak. My heart was smashed into pieces. This book is about Adrian and Nadia. Adrian has cancer. I'm not gonna say anything else, but you need to read this book. It's so good. I give this book a 5 out of 5 stars. I loved it. Okay, so the last book for today's video is going to be Punk 57. So the guy is named Misha, and then the girl is named Ryan, and they are pen pals. Yeah, it's like a bully romance, a lot of bully romance. Very different, and it was so good. I gave this book a 4.5 out of 5. So entertaining, so good. Yes. So you guys, thank you so much for watching today's video. I am going to be uploading a huge book haul and I'm so excited to film it and I'm so excited to share with you guys what I got. And yeah, stay tuned for that. Thank you so much for watching and I will see you in my next one. Everyone was watching you move.